Hello everyone, welcome to this new radio talk show presented by Remy Mono. Today is an important day because not only are we going to talk about our usual topic, today's news and the future, but also we are going in the depths by talking about pollution. This subject has way more importance than you may think. This episode, slightly aside from our usual topics, corresponds exactly to our present society. Pollution and overconsumption. How does being a society of overconsumption leads to pollution, and why has this become a problem? Today, we also have the pleasure and honor of welcoming researchers Sarah Ward, who is an expert in sociology, who will enlighten us on where this sudden rise in consumption comes from. Lola Juan, who is an expert in ecology, who will tell us why overconsuming pollutes much as it does. And then, to finish the episode, we will welcome a fan who wants to ask some question to conclude this episode. So now, I would like to ask you to welcome Sarah Ward. Hello Sarah, welcome to the show. The pleasure is mine. Well, let's start off with where does this sudden rise in consumption comes from?
That is an excellent question, and the answer is easier than we could think. Today, after a rising standard of living, after notably the period of the 30 glory years, the population of the more developed countries, and especially Europeans and Americans, have had a raise in their purchasing power and have then gotten used to consuming more things. Up to now, that was a normal behaviour. The real problem is that today we can't even talk about a simple consumption society, but one that is an overconsumption, which is composed of two steps. The first one being the creation of a necessity. The big companies push their clients to an overconsumption through publicity and marketing in general. Their point is to seduce the consumer and to force him to purchase not for his necessity, but for a simple satisfaction, which we can call more commonly unnecessary shopping. The second one being perpetual shopping. When a consumer buys a product, it will affect him with pleasure for a certain lapse of time, in the end of which the consumer will be bored of it and will want to buy a new one to procure the same pleasure again. For example, people who systematically buy the new iPhone every year, whereas the old one is still working. We can also find this attitude in an event that happens every year in the United States, Black Friday. The event is so important that it procures the equivalent of the gross domestic product of Lebanon, so $58 billion in only 1 year. The purchase of clothes represents the first consumed product and has rose 60% since the year 2000. After them comes the electronic devices that produce an enormous amount of waste, extremely pollutant. But not only the buying doesn't only happen in the shops, but also on internet via delivery. What you need to know is that in the United Kingdom, they have used in 2017 82,000 diesel vans and trucks to support the need of deliveries, and on Amazon Germany, among the products that are sent back by the clients, 30% of them are thrown away. One of the biggest effects of the overconsumption is waste, which turns into pollution.
Well, again, thanks for your intervention, Miss Ward. I would now like to give Lola the chance to answer to what you have said.
Hello, thanks for your invitation. Indeed, I have quite a lot of things I would like to add to what she has said. My first point is that I really agree with Sarah because the results and the statistic of pollution correspond with what she said. To come back onto what she was saying about the clothes, the contents of truck by seconds are thrown into the world, clothes that are not particularly useful. Secondly, the lifespan of clothes are decreased by 50% in 15 years, which is considerable waste that we cannot tolerate today when we know that millions of people live in poverty. But not only are there those problems, there is also a problem with electricity. Some of the components are very difficult to recycle. For example, 46 billion of tons produced in 2016, which is the equivalent to 10,000 of pyramids, and only 20% of the waste is recycled. Moreover, these products are not only polluants at the end of their use, because even the simple creation of them has the necessity of rare materials that threaten the planet, like rare earth, a material used for smartphones, in wind turbines, but also in electric car motor. In 50 years, their production has multiplied by 8. The problems come from the extraction of the rare earth, which is really pollutant. Indeed, to exploit this rare earth, you need to separate elements that are very close, like separating water from syrup. So, to extract rain, you need to use chemical products that causes big damage on the environment. Our society of today is now dependent of materials like rare earth for deliveries, trips by plane, car or train. Sodas, the companies Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Nestle are the 3 biggest pollutants in the world. Our addiction to shopping for all these superficial products only makes our planet worse. Who is really weak?
Thanks a lot to Lola for her explanation, which was a big help for tonight. Now it seems someone in the public had some questions. What's your name?
My name is Matteo.
And what do you do in life?
I work in an investing company.
Wow, that's a very nice job. But now, what's your question?
My question is, I was wondering what solution could be used to consume in a better way, and how to repair ecological problems that we have already created. Because I think that all of us in this room are ready to make the effort necessary to lower the pollution due to our overconsumption.
Oh, that's an exceptional question. And like I think I have listened to what the 2 women have said, I feel able to answer it myself. So, to pollute less, I think that we should take in the habit to correctly recycle things and use the car less for trips that can be made by bus or by bike. Moreover, you can also choose the season fruits, bio if possible, and from sellers or farmers from the corner, and it will increase the economy of the little producers and your plate will be more seen. In effect, instead of ordering things in the internet, you could find alternatives and ask yourself if you really need these products. And now, the episode is finished. I hope you all make an effort and this opens eye. Thanks for listening and goodbye.